Welcome. We're just hanging out today. I'm with Kristin Welton, and we just wanted to see what it's like to do a simple live together without me getting all stressed out over jumping people's channels on the screen and not reading the chat and stuff like this. So we're always in a positive, optimistic, and motivational mood. So we figured we'll spread some of that around. You guys can let us know what you want to talk about. And I will try not to dominate the conversation, as you would expect I probably would. If you've watched any of my videos, you see me trying to talk to people, and I end up doing 90% of the talking most of the time. But we'll see. Oh, yeah, Jeff, thank you for coming by to support. Jeff's on vacation, so he is probably busy and likely going live, if not live already. And then a couple of Jeff's people are here visiting, and I really appreciate the little bit of support that you guys are giving me, which is Kaye, MD, Mickey. So just that. Hopefully your day's going well, assuming you're still here. Oh, Vernus, thank you for coming by. We're just kind of hanging out. We really don't know what to expect for today, but we just figured that we'll come on, try doing a live together, see if I can get through reading the chat, as opposed to talking the whole time and never actually noticing when anybody types. So we're a little more laid back today, but I really appreciate you coming by because Chris and I are just doing our first live together just to see what it's like. I did one with her daughter the other day, and that went okay, but this is something else. So thanks for coming by. So Verdes, how's your day going? I got Gary Vaynerchuk's text messages coming through from his new texting platform. We were doing a few things on the weekend. Maybe we can use the opportunity. You can spread something useful. We were at a couple of events. Kristin runs Epilepsy Niagara. Why don't you just tell everybody what that is? Oh.
Sorry, everyone, that was a bit of a glitch. Epilepsy Niagara is a nonprofit social services agency. We are non-medical, so we do support services, education, and awareness throughout the Niagara region. So we are based in Canada, in Ontario. It's one of the most southernmost points. And we do seizure first aid training. We're out in the community talking about epilepsy. We do awareness. I go to schools and talk about epilepsy. But most importantly, we help those living with the condition. So we do empowerment counseling. There's programs that I run and all that kind of stuff. So this is a really big month for us. It is March Awareness, and it's a Canadian-wide recognized month for epilepsy awareness. And on March 26th is Purple Day, and several landmarks across the country are going to be illuminated in purple. So we're really excited about that. And Zehrs Marketplace is running a provincial campaign for us from the 12th until the 26th, where people can donate out the cash. So these Zehrs stores are in Ontario, and we are super excited about this and super grateful for the generosity that Zehrs does for us. They support us very greatly, and they allow us to go into their stores and have some fun.
So Zehrs is actually one of our biggest grocery store chains, at least in the area. It's run by Loblaws, which is like a monster company in Canada that runs all the grocery stores and a lot of pharmacies and things like that. So a few more people have come in. Havard, thank you for coming in. TMC family, of course, is supporting, although he's driving right now, so he's just going to let us run. I appreciate that. Verdes, thank you for the tip. I remember being in one of your lives, and you did say that you occasionally type the word stop in the chat just so that you can go back and see your own stuff. So I understand that's a good tip, and I will do that in the future when I need to. Bobby Crush, thanks for coming by. Lonely Girl is somebody that I just connected with today, so thank you for coming in. And Vernus just asked us how far we are from Niagara Falls. So we're actually in Niagara Falls, officially the city. Some people refer to it as Old Niagara Falls, but it is in the southwestmost corner. And it's in a town called Chippewa, which is still officially Niagara Falls. Our home address is actually Niagara Falls, but the sound quality is not good. Thank you, Mickey, for telling me. Maybe I don't know what I can do about that. we're just going to have to maybe talk louder. Vernus, if you don't mind just letting me know what you think if I have an audio problem, because you'd be the most experienced to know what I might be doing that's not right, because we can't hear it ourselves. Oh, Vernus, you're going to come to the casino? Are you serious?
Come see us.
That will be awesome. Yeah, 100% for sure. I'd do anything to collaborate with Vernus. I was on her channel the other night, and she just happened to be doing a talk on personal finance and credit, and had me join in with her because it was something she had as an open platform. People could come in and join the conversation. So we had a great time, and that's a video that's on her channel now, obviously. One of her latest ones, so you can go over there and check that out if you want. So yeah, we're very close. The casino's 15 minutes away from us. Kristin passes it almost every day, like on the way to work. We live on the outskirts. The way that Niagara Falls in, because it's a town on the water, the tourist area is down by the lake, and the locals kind of congregate in a horseshoe shape around the outside. So typically somebody like me doesn't actually have to go through the tourist area very much, and I tend to avoid it just for a little bit of traffic and that, even though it's not really bad here. But thank you for asking. So April's not that far away, so I hope we can make some kind of arrangement to spend some time together when you're coming. We'll certainly make our effort to come and see you. So a few more people have come by. Mickey, thank you again for the tip. Robert Parkers is somebody that I just connected with this morning as well. So I'm looking forward to checking out your stuff. It does say Fishing World on your channel, so I'm assuming that's the bulk of what you do. So I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been fishing in many years, but I used to go often with my father, grandfather, some of my father's friends, things like this. So yeah, it was today in one of the growth streams. We were hustling a little bit earlier. And thank you, TMC family, for dropping the link in there. This is something I was working on. Vernus, if you remember when we were talking on your channel the other day, I was saying that I noticed Vernus has in her background a pillow that has the YouTube logo on it. And I had mentioned that people can get extra income from YouTube and other places by selling things online. It's really easy. And as a matter of fact, I was designing a pillow at the same time as I had had her go live and then started watching her. So that's what I've been working on, and you'll find that at the link that TMC family just dropped. That's something that we're expecting to have. We're going to try it out and see how it works. We're just using Teespring for those of you who know what that is. So yeah, okay, so Vernus, thank you for letting us know that the audio is okay. Mickey, I don't know what the trouble is. I'm praying that it's on your end. One of Jeff's friends, now I'd like to consider a friend as well, in Pattaya, they do a lot of live streaming. Pattaya is a very unique city in the world. In Thailand, that's where Jeff is, and one of the other channels may have just mentioned something about me there, just because I've been in a lot of Jeff's live streams while he's been on vacation. Jeff says he can't hear, but that's okay. We knew that already. Bobby Crush. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You know, the funny thing is about YouTube, it's really not competition the way people would think, because people can hop in and out of streams. A lot of times people are watching more than one at a time. So here we go. Multi-species fishing, ice fishing, open water and salt water. Okay, I've never done any saltwater fishing. Have you? No, I never have. Only lakes up here. It's all fresh water. Kaye is here. He's another one that's in Just Friends. Thank you for letting me know that the sound is okay. Thanks, Vernus, for checking that out. It's just something I barely started working on, but you'll see that. And then another new connection for me. 3 Souls, thanks for coming by. I'm interested to see your stuff. I'm not so much into paranormal stuff, but I used to work in film for a few years, brief years, and just did some light location work. But I worked on a show. Why can't I remember the name of it? It's not Murdoch Mysteries. It's Close Encounters. Yeah. And I'm all excited because they used my truck in one of the TV shows. but it made me a little bit more aware of things like that. So I'm assuming that you have some stuff that we might find interesting on your channel. So for those of you who know what I'm talking about, feel free to connect amongst each other in the chat, although today is not a growth stream. So Andy, thank you for coming by. Obviously, yes, Bobby Crush did shout us out. Obviously, there's the evidence right there. Thank you for that. This is not going to be anything like what you guys are expecting. Kristin and I are just hanging out and talking about whatever comes up in the conversation. We're just chilling out, and I am practicing my live streaming skills because I've got a big growth stream network coming in hopefully a month. And I just got to make sure that I've got all my systems ready to go and we're set. So for some of you, you'll be looking forward to that. And check out your 3 video clips from your night vision camcorder. Okay, that will be cool. I don't know anything about filming with night vision. You know, I've only seen what I've seen in movies and television and things like that. Are you into some of that stuff, if I put it that way?
Yeah, so actually the best medium I've ever been to is in Hamilton, Ontario, and absolutely incredible woman, and she's so nice. And the first thing that she said as soon as I sat down was, "Who's Mary?" And so my mom passed away almost a year ago now in April, and weirdly enough, I decided to bring my mom with me. I brought her ashes in my purse, and when I walked in, I said, "Oh, yeah, I hope this doesn't weird you out, but I have somebody's ashes in my purse. I can leave them outside if that's going to bother you." She's like, "No. She knows nothing about me. I've never met her before." And as soon as I sat down, she said, "Who's Mary?" And that's my mom. So she said some very lovely things about you and
I'm
love.
sure. Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. So I don't know. Does anybody else go to a medium or read tarot cards or haven't read or anything?
I think Bobby Crush and Patay and Kaye over here are a little bit too busy for that. Had to do close to Canada. That was Jeff. And yeah, so these guys are over. Well, Jeff's over right now, like I said, in Thailand, and it can get pretty wild over there. So, Vertus, thank you for saying that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but he's having a very adult time, but a very good time with a bunch of guys, and he does a lot of live streaming, so there's a lot of jokes that will come through there. Oh, all right. Let's see if we can. I don't want to block. I don't have a moderator right now. Oh, TMC. Yeah, if you don't mind. No, he's driving. He can't do it. I haven't made. Verna's in law. Oh yeah, she's working too. Okay. Can you, if something comes up that we need to delete, can you delete it? Just because this is not going to be a stream that is that one particular comment is not going to be. So, no. Oh, we can't do it with the computer. I'm going to have to figure out what to do. All right. Well, it's not the worst thing in the world.
TMC family services too.
Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but that's okay. We're I'm just thinking about moderating. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna open another window. So forgive me, everybody, if we cause a little bit of a glitch here or some audio problems. I've just got to take care of something quickly. That's one of the things that you've got to make sure. It's a very important thing is to have moderators that you absolutely trust to be able to help you when you're live streaming, just to take out like any like slightly inappropriate comments and things like that. I'm not too worried about it right now because we're just chilling and we're just, you know, whatever comes up, we're going to talk about and this and that. So it wasn't a very. Oh, it's okay, TMC. I have. That's my friend Q from the TMC family. It's just there was a comment that I just wanted to knock out So I've got another window open here, and I can hop over if I need to and just dump it. But Cutie Chewy, thanks for coming to visit. Hopefully you guys have all given a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'm sure that you likely already have. Kristin, occasionally I see you still got a couple comments in the chat here. If you want to just drop a comment here and there so that people know how to connect with you as well. Kristin has her own channel. It's very much her own thing. I manage a few channels, as some of you already know. My personal channel is something that I experiment with, play with, try to bring a little bit of value to people with as I prepare to work on other channels, more for experimentation than anything else. But Kristin is getting rolling with her own right now. So what are your intentions anyway?
Kind of a mishmash of different things. My daughter and I like to wear these ridiculous dino head masks and wear them around in public, so that's fun. But we love our cats, and I like talking about motivational speaking and talking about my life. One of the things that I don't really shy away from is talking about really the truth in my life, especially with being diagnosed with MS. And I think I'm living fairly well with it, and I'm very lucky to have the blessings that I have in my life and to be able to live so well with it. It was kind of scary when I was first diagnosed because I didn't know what to expect at all. And talking obviously about Epilepsy Niagara and what I do there. Just kind of whatever comes in my head and figure out from there and see where it needs to be streamlined.
Good. Well, I'm just skimming through the chat. Forgive me at the same time as you're talking. So, you have two cats. I didn't even know that you had cats. If you mentioned it, it may have slipped by me pretty quick. We have two. I happen to be allergic to them, but Kristin had them before we got together, so I'm tolerant of it, let's say.
But he loves them, though. Whenever we're not looking, he's down in their faces.
That doesn't sound like me. That doesn't sound accurate at all.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You like it when trouble wants to climb on you.
Oh, yeah, and scratch me. Yeah, their nails are very much real. So that was a pleasant surprise. Hence the cover we put on our couch so that they don't rip it to shreds. Ernie Hatmaker, thanks for coming in. Ernie is a new connection for me from just recently in one of the growth streams, like I keep talking about building. So it's nice to see such a mix of people coming through, because there's new connections from today. There's some that have been very supportive and with me for quite some time now. And it's nice to have that mix up in the chat. So yeah, for those of you who know what I mean, then feel free to connect with each other. We all know the rules because I know we've all met in growth streams anyway. So just go to somebody's channel, watch a short video in full, leave a meaningful comment related to the content of the video. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to their channel if you enjoy it as well. Then come back here and just leave a single heart next to their name. We'll keep it very simple for today. Today is not a growth stream. Today we're just chilling and talking. But for those of you who know what I'm talking about, by all means, feel free to connect with each other. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, some people in the chat may mention your name and put a heart or say hello or cheers or something like this. They may be intending to connect with you. It's almost like they will check out your content and possibly subscribe. They may be expecting you to do the same. I just want to make sure everybody understands not everybody in the chat is into that stuff. And so therefore you have to be patient, and please don't get upset with people if they don't connect back. Some people who are in the chat don't have channels. They are just on YouTube to enjoy other people's content. So we're happy about that. So I'm interested to know about lupus because, Vern, you're not the first person that I've heard that has had this. So I wonder if you, and forgive me if I don't already know from going through your videos, but I wonder if you've done anything about that already. to talk about that. It's very interesting. I think when people have some information that they can share, especially with others of great value, like coping with these types of things, then I think that that's important if it can be done. So Jeff, thanks for the reminder about hitting the bell for the notifications and the thumbs up and everything. Sushi Man's World, thanks for coming by. Bobby Crush, I didn't actually know you were in Liverpool, but there we go. So people from all over the world are watching, which is great. We're in Canada, Niagara Falls, the honeymoon capital of the world. Thank you for the hype, Sushi Man's World, and Minnesota. There we go. So luckily, Vern is not too far and going to be coming to visit. So I'm really praying we're going to be able to get a collaboration happening when she gets her chance to come up. So Sushi Man's World, thank you very much for that. Bobby Crush, I can't tell if that's a joke or not because I've seen the word so many times in Jeff and those guys' streams, but if it is, I don't know if anybody here is going to get it, and if it's not, then I apologize. I don't know what Doncaster, if it's an area or a city or anything like that, but I have seen it come up a few times lately, so that's okay. Okay, so Vernus, yeah, you have talked about it. So I'm going to make sure to have a look and scope out what you've done with that, just because I'm curious myself. You know, there's a lot of different things that people have to cope with in the world, and it's of interest to me. Wellstone Raider, thanks for coming by. Thank you for the thumbs up. This is quite a different thing than what Jeff and the guys do with their live streaming and this and that. But I appreciate you coming by and checking it out. We're just having a light talk and seeing what's happening in everybody else's world today. Yeah, Vern is one of the people that I was really drawn to several months ago when I started kind of hustling with my own personal channel. And she has a lot of great information about a lot of different things, YouTube in particular, but she freely shares all kinds of things, and she goes live several times a week with the intention of helping other people with channels with all the different things that are involved in running a successful YouTube channel, as well as helping people grow. It's Andy. Thanks for coming by. So, I didn't see his. For Mickey. We're just having a scope through the comments here. Oh, that's, well, I have a feeling that that's actually serious because I don't think, yeah. Although it looks the way it does, these guys are actually having a real discussion about these bars. Mickey is somebody who's a moderator on Jeff's channel and has been of great help and assistance over the last little while Jeff's been on vacation, because while I'm taking care of my own stuff, that's one of the channels that I manage professionally, and I cannot, nobody can afford to pay somebody, full time to be watching 12-hour live streams or 8-hour live streams. So that's all right. We got, like I was saying, Kristin's involved in a lot of charity events and things like that. One of the things we're thinking about doing, maybe even today after the live that we're working on right now, we might film another video, which we've been meaning to do, having to do with epilepsy awareness, because this month is Epilepsy Awareness Month. Why don't you mention a little bit about that?
So Purple Day is March 26th, and it's a internationally recognized awareness day for epilepsy. So it was started by Cassidy Megan, who at the time was, I believe, 9 years old. And it started in 2008 and is now global, and it's amazing. But March in Canada is Epilepsy Awareness Month, and in the United States, November. So, but we celebrate all month long, and there's campaigns and initiatives, and really fabulous things. And the greatest supporter, as we mentioned before, is Zehrs Marketplace, which is a huge grocery store chain that's part of Loblaws. So what we're asking people to do is learn seizure first aid, and we're going to do a video on that. And it's super easy to learn, and it's not hard. And the more understanding and really get to know what to do when someone has a seizure and not panic and call 911 unnecessarily, the better. And just be human and be kind and be nice. That's really all we need to do as human beings, to be supportive.
Since Kristin's running that organization, it's obviously a big part of my life as well now. I've known other people with epilepsy and this and that. But I think one of the things is because we're all building little platforms here where we can talk and share information and this and that. And I know from television and movies, there's a lot of jokes and things about how to deal with epilepsy and this and that. But I think it's important not just with epilepsy, but with all things, that if everybody can be the smallest bit educated and understand what to do, then nobody will freak out when panic starts to set in when they're facing something that's unknown. I've had a couple of friends with epilepsy and this and that. I had one that I didn't know that he had epilepsy and went into a full-blown spasmic looking seizure, and I freaked out like exactly what you're not supposed to do. So Kristin and I got together years and years after that, but I'm happy to at least have a clue about this kind of stuff now, so that I can first of all be better and help somebody if they happen to be going through a seizure if I run into it, and otherwise just spread a little bit of that word as well, and help her with her the organization. We do a lot of stuff like now, we're in the grocery stores. Zehrs is very generous, so they give us tables, and they donate a lot of different things. They donate one of the location here in Niagara Falls gave a stand mixer that somebody's going to win this month. One of the other locations had some gift baskets that they put together and this and that. So it's nice to see some generosity in the community. And what they do is they donate all this stuff. We could have worn our T-shirts. We'll do it if we make the video. But they have special T-shirts, and what they do is they print them. They sell them for $10, but they donate the whole $10 to organizations like Epilepsy Niagara and the others that are all under the same type of umbrella. So it's good fundraising stuff. I enjoy watching that. I enjoy seeing the different ideas and things that people will come up with, especially when there's generosity being spread around. So Wildman, thanks for coming in. So sorry, but I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. I don't even want to attempt it for the sake of being insulting or anything else, but I really appreciate you coming by. This is the fun thing about YouTube and the things that we can do. You can have friends from all over the world now, and you can connect and learn so many different things. And this is what we're experiencing even here. Izzy's Life Vlogs, thanks for coming by. Izzy's Life is a good supporter too. This is somebody who comes by a lot of my stuff often. I run into in other people's live broadcasts as well, but happens to come by my stuff. So while we're talking about supporting, if you guys don't mind, thumbs it up. And if you haven't subscribed already, then I hope you will. Oh, do you really?
Okay.
Wildman? So apparently I had a seizure when I was a baby, but that's it. A lot of people. What's the statistic again, Kristin, on how many people have seizures in their lifetime?
So in Canada, there's two major statistics. One is 1 in 100 Canadians are living with epilepsy, and 1 in 10 Canadians will have one seizure in their lifetime.
There you go. So it's a common thing, and it's not something that is, I think everybody must know somebody that has it. At least in Canada, we know that the statistics for these kind of things change throughout the world. But what we were saying, Wildman, is this is what Kristin does. Her full-time gig is running a charitable organization here in Niagara Falls called Epilepsy Niagara. And she actually serves the whole Niagara region, which I know we're talking about people from all over the world watching the chat right now. We just have an area that spans, do you happen to know the kilometers or how many major cities?
So we serve 12 municipalities
There you
across
go.
the region. And in the region, there's approximately 5,000 people living with epilepsy. Our organization is there to help people living with and affected by. So we help support the families as well as the schools, employers.
Oh, no.
So the entire thing is what we do.
I accidentally put that up for a quick second at the time. Tony McQuaid, thanks for coming in. Okay, thank you, Vernus. Thank you for giving me a little bit of time and hanging out. I know you're working, so I really appreciate it. A lot of regular supporters have come through today already. TMC, of course. So, you're on your way to Green Bay?
Oh.
TMC? Oh, I'm back in the wrong window here. Where's his? Here we go. He's on his way to Green Bay. So that just gives me a chance to tell a quick story. So, if I'm right, TMC is from the Milwaukee area. Now, I don't know if you've been there your whole life. We still have a bit to learn, right? But from the Milwaukee area, at least now. And I had, when I was DJing, there was a couple of years where I was touring all over the northeastern United States. No flights. So anywhere you could drive to, I wasn't making $100,000 a night or anything like that. But I did manage to play Chicago for a couple of nights, and I did play Green Bay. So I didn't make it to Milwaukee, unfortunately, but I did get to those cities, and they were really good times. But I remember Green Bay being one of the hypest crowds I ever remembered. Those people know how to party. It's out of control. Now, when you drive through town, it seems to me that every single person's got a Green Bay Packers sticker in the window or a flag or something like that. So it's very easy. You know, you can imagine I'm DJing a party, just wait an hour and say, hey, we got any Packers fans in the house? And of course they erupt, right? But it really was a hype crowd. So TMC says he has a catering event up there right now. And I know TMC's going through a little bit of a headache. I'm imagining it is because of this situation with the coronavirus, and that he's had to change the plans where in occasion he might fly different places, but is not able to now. So I think it's a bit of a struggle, and forgive me because I don't know enough yet, like that I should even be talking about it. But it's nice that you get to see different places anyway. So, like I said, I had a great time in Green Bay, and it looks like you're going to again too.
Wild man, he was saying that his body locks up so bad that he can hardly move for days.
Oh,
so
wow.
After a seizure is called the post-ictal phase, and some people have a long phase and some people have short phases, but it's the period of recovery after a seizure. Sometimes a person's very, very tired, confused. Sometimes they just need to sleep after. And there's some people that have difficulty moving afterward, because when you have a seizure, it's like you've run a marathon and your body is so tired and worn out. So it's very understandable that somebody can be in pain. Plus, with the seizure happening with the tonic-clonic, your muscles, every muscle in your body is clenched, and that can be very painful. It's like pulling a muscle, but to the greatest extent.
The one friend that I was talking about particularly that had extreme number of seizures. He would always be tired, so we'd be hanging out either on the weekend or whatever. But if you had a seizure, it's like you got to sleep and you're basically done for the day because it takes so much out of you. So I understand that. So Jeff, of course, is coming by. So Jeff, when are you going to go live? Are you going to go, because it's already 2:30, unless it's 1:30 for you? Now I'm lost in our time difference because Jeff is in Thailand right now, in a town called Pattaya, which is a major city over there. And we were 12 hours apart until daylight savings time changed that this weekend. Now, I don't know, I can't remember what he said that means, I could probably just look on the phone and get a world clock and see. But assuming that we're only an hour off, it's still either 1:30 or 3:30 for you.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I just wonder if you're going to go live. What are you expecting? Of course, he can't hear me either, so I got to consider that. Maybe I'll text him or message here in the chat so he can read.
So Wildman says that he feels off for days, and yeah, that's understandable. So one of the things that many people don't understand that there are so many different kinds of seizures, and there's approximately 40 different kinds, but there's between 300 and 400 types of seizures, disorders, and syndromes combined. So epilepsy isn't as clear cut as most people think.
Tony McQuaid, thanks for coming by. I already thanked you for coming by, but thanks for the message. So Jeff has been rocking it. Yeah, he's having a good time over there and doing a lot of live streaming. But it's all parties. Very adult stuff, but it's all, you might not, he's still filming. So the other thing too, like, Samuel Joy TV, thanks for coming by. Did I get to that comment? Yeah, I'm not sure. Diane, thanks for coming by. Yeah, so Jeff's filming. So Jeff has I manage his channel for him. It's very much his. He decides basically what videos to do, and I help him film and this and that, and I produce the videos and then put them up and this and that. But right now, while he's on vacation, of course, he's doing all the filming himself. So not only is he going live for sometimes 5 or 6 hours a day, but of course, everybody's still telling you to go live today. But he's also filming content. So if you were to check out his channel, you'll see like there's already some vacation footage there. Although we haven't got to the Thailand stuff just yet. We're still catching up. And when he gets back, I have a feeling we're going to be putting up a lot more content, a lot more frequently. Although right now he's still, like I said, going live here and there. Yeah. So thank you very much, Diane. Yeah. We're just kind of chilling and talking about whatever comes up today. But Kristin happens to be the executive director of Epilepsy Niagara, which is an organization here in Niagara Falls that helps people living with and affected by epilepsy. So that just happened to come up in conversation, and we've been lightly talking about that, talking about justifications, and just saying hello to everybody who's coming through the chat. So, Wildman, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate the time, especially for the fact, like most of you seem to already know, but when you hop into somebody's live stream for the purpose of supporting them, it really helps if you stick around for 15 minutes. And I think most of you have been able to do that. We've had a couple of people working. We've had a friend of mine driving right now, but he's like just letting it run and probably listening at the same time. And I really appreciate that. Yeah, Jeff. So Jeff does what he can for talking me up a lot when we're doing, because he knows I'm working on my own channel. I'm hustling right now. And the reason why more than anything else is because as I'm working on helping other people with their channels, it looks best if I at least have my 1,000 subscribers while I'm teaching people how to get 1,000 subscribers. So I'm in a race to try to get that done, but he's really maximizing the chats over there while he's live streaming to let people know that I am working on his stuff and giving me the credit that he feels. And I really appreciate that. But Tony, that's a nice thing for you to say, so I appreciate that as well. So, no, we're talking, Diane, this is fine. We're talking about whatever comes up in the chat today. So by all means, whatever is on your mind, we'd love to conversate. So, yeah, the coronavirus really is something else. So I know that it is. I did one live talk when it started to really become big news. And I did that. The video's still on my channel, but it just was about me hopping on and trying to help while everybody was starting to panic, because I don't want to blame the media. You know what I mean? They do report the news, but they do it in a way that's best for their business. And I find that a lot of times when you listen to different news channels or watch different news things or read different news, you hear different types of stories and they don't seem to match up. So it leaves confusion out in society. And, you know, I don't want to get on too much of a political tangent about it. But anyways, I just went on just to let people know, like, we saw this. And it's longer ago than I think. It's 15, almost 20 years ago. But when SARS was a big thing, Canada was badly hit by that. And, you know, people were panicking. We're seeing the same kind of things that I see now with the masks and this and that. But the truth is, if you're cautious, it still seems that as long as you're not, you know, you're not coughing on people, you're not letting people cough on you, you're washing your hands more often than ever. Like, for instance, so my friend TMC is driving right now, and hopefully the second he gets out of the car, he's going to wash his hands. And same thing, like right now, we're sitting here, I got my hand on the couch where the cats walk around. I got my other hand on a mouse that you can't see that I'm using to control my screen to get these comments up on the screen. And, you know, I will wash my hands. I happen to wash my hands like 100 times a day anyway, but I am being even more so cautious about that. Things we don't think about. Like I said, getting in the car or opening boxes, things you brought home from the store, and this and that. So just keeping things as clean as we all should.
Yeah. Wiping down phones.
Wiping down our phone, which carries, you know, all kinds of bacteria and this and that. And you just don't think about it. Like, you know, I heard a statistic that we touch our face 2,000 times a day. And I don't know if that could be true. I do it all the time. And I think I just made this stuff. But I do it all the time as well. And so as long as we're careful, I really hope that everybody doesn't have to panic, you know? So, okay, so TMC, I thought you were driving at the time, but I guess you're in the midst. So thank you very much. Yeah, I hope you didn't pull over just for us, but I really appreciate the support. TMC is probably my #1 supporter on all of YouTube. So I really appreciate that, especially coming by, especially dropping these links. In Q's World, thanks for coming by. We're just talking about whatever comes up right now. We happen to be talking about epilepsy for a while. We're just talking about the coronavirus, talking about my friends in Thailand right now on vacation. So, yeah, you guys can feel free to connect to Kristin's channel as well. She's very much starting to work on her channel and get that built up. So as she drops her comments in the chat, you can grab her and subscribe to her as well. Lady Kaye, thanks for coming by. Lady Kaye is a new connection for me. Of extremely recent, but I appreciate you coming by and hanging out. And we, like I said, are just having a light discussion about a handful of different things. So, you know, when it comes to things like, you know, the coronavirus and stuff like that, just hopefully we can keep everything really positive, let everybody know we've seen this stuff before. We're not dealing with anything that hasn't been dealt with before. So there's already protocols in place, and I know the media, like, it sounds extreme, and it's probably more extreme than I am making it sound like, but I would like to think that it's not as extreme as some of the media has made it sound like.
Well, there hasn't been any community, in Canada, there hasn't been any community-based spread until recently. I just learned that.
Okay.
There's one case of community spread coronavirus, and that's new, because before it was, you know, contained to only travel, but hopefully now every people or everyone will start really heeding caution and really washing your hands and getting out that Purell and
well, that's the biggest thing.
Everything.
You know, it's crazy that it took me until well into my 30s, if not 40s, before I started, you know, understanding what nurses keep saying about, you know, you don't catch colds from not putting your shoes on and not putting a jacket on in the winter instead of boots, or, you know, instead of a t-shirt, stuff like this. It's not that. I'm sure that's not good for you, so I don't advise that, of course. But if you just wash your hands. It's the biggest thing, especially you're going to eat something, you must wash your hands before and after you eat, always.
And when my daughter was born, she was in the neonatal intensive care unit, and before we could go in, we had to wash our hands, but wash our arms as well, right up to the elbow. But for any medical procedure, when nurses wash their hands, they sing happy birthday twice. So happy birthday to you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that you're doing it for the right amount of time to make sure, and then you really have to rinse because, you don't want soap residue and all that kind of stuff. But just YouTube or Google how to properly wash your hands.
It's Bobby Crush. I watch the soap now just to be sure. And that's, absolutely right. So Diane, you're right about social media. It does trigger a lot. And you tend to, the way social media works, YouTube included, once you see something that says coronavirus, now Facebook thinks you want to see it, so it keeps showing you more and more and more. And Twitter and all the others, YouTube does the same thing. Because I did a coronavirus video, there's almost always one in my recommended videos, although I'm not going to bother watching a lot of that. Just keep up with the news, and that's enough. So,
SARS stock.
SARS stock. Tony McQuaid. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because when I talk about SARS and I forget again, I think somebody reminded me it was about 19 years ago, but it was SARS stock that they called it. I forget what the name of the concert was. We had, I think, AC/DC and the Rolling Stones and a multitude of other people. Justin Timberlake was there. I forget if it was 20 or 30 different artists. It was out of control for a concert. But they did that so that they could get people going out again because SARS got so much of a scare, and rightfully so, but it was stopping people from going out and doing the things we all do. It was affecting everybody's livelihood. And what that also means for everybody is financial upset because, as we're seeing even today, I read some headlines that said that some markets, Italy has done a shutdown of entire cities, lockdowns, and that affects the markets because when people can't flow, money can't flow. And not that I know what I'm talking about, but that's the way it seems. So we do remember SARS stock. That's what it got called after Woodstock. That's the play on the name. But it was for, it was to try to get people back outside again. And that's what I mean when I say that, we've seen this before. So I certainly don't want to be the kind of person to stop people from taking it seriously, but I just wish for people not to panic. If we all stay under control and we all realize there will be a day that this has passed, it will be behind us, and sooner than we think right now. Then everybody will be fine. So sincerely, Lucy, of course, another fantastic supporter, somebody that I have, somebody that I've talked with on her live videos as well. I'm just trying to scan the chats at the same time. She does a fantastic job. She does a lot of live streaming, but we had a good talk. She is the first person to ask me to do an interview talk show. And so it was really just getting to know me, but it was very generous of her to do that. So Lucy, somebody that you'd want to connect with if you're in here connecting with people. Jenny's Beauty World, thanks for coming by. We're just talking about whatever comes up today and just kind of chilling out and enjoying some positive conversation. Kira has just obviously left school. She's on her way home. That's Kristin's daughter, my stepdaughter.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that there was. There was any drop in fuel prices already. I did hear that oil was getting hit, but to be very honest, while I do enjoy the idea of looking into investments and personal finance and this and that, I do not understand quite how the correlation between the price of oil and the price of the fuel at the pump coordinates. You would think if one goes down, the other goes down, but that's not how it works. It has to do with futures, and it has to do with whether the when oil takes a hit, like precious metals, for instance, it could become to a point that it's not worth the miners to go and get, the oil or the precious metals or different things out of the ground. And this is what causes a lot of price fluctuation. But again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is other stuff that we have to be aware of. Now, Bobby mentioned, see, I have 26 photos, hoping to get another 18 tomorrow. We haven't seen this yet where we are, where there people are.
Costco.
Yeah.
Costco sold out of toilet paper.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Then we do have to get some. I don't want to subscribe to the feelings of panic, but at the same time, you do have to prepare. And it's not that if there's shortages, like certain things, what are you going to do? So it's never going to hurt anybody to have a few cases of water in the house.
No, of course not.
And you could do well to have a little bit extra.
But they're saying that people are going out and stockpiling, not because they think anything is going to happen necessarily, but just in case if you come down with the coronavirus, then you have that in stock for when you're quarantined in your home. That's what I've heard. So I don't know if that's true.
It could be good advice too. I really don't know how to advise anybody on that. Because like I said, I don't want to panic, so I don't want to go out there and start hoarding and take, for instance, more than my share of the necessities that you need out of the stores, because that is not helpful. At the same time, you never know what's going to happen. But we live in a smaller, quieter neighborhood in the southwest corner of Niagara Falls. So I haven't personally seen any kind of panic in anybody. Anything that I've seen so far is on television and with the media. Yeah, Lucy's expecting to do a lot of talk show interviews, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. As a matter of fact, now I forgot to plug it all day, but now I can mention tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to do another interview on Official D Spot's channel. You'll have to search him out. My subscriptions are all public, but you'll find Official D Spot if you want to look for him. And I will announce it. I'll put it on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And tomorrow is going to be more of a tech talk type interview because he knows I'm a marketing guy, into social media, very much into the web and the internet and all things to do with that and small business and whatnot. So he's currently asking his people what they would like to know when I speak with him. And then we will, banter between the two of us together tomorrow about it. Yeah. So I haven't seen, I heard that it was going to be a bad day as far as the markets go, but I just don't know yet. So Mickey says, overprotective, staying home, drive 40% less. That's a lot of fuel. Well, okay, so there you go. That makes sense. People driving less and
probably less planes too. I don't know if any planes were canceled.
I don't know where all the flights were canceled, but like Jeff, my friend in Thailand right now, is dancing around with a situation where apparently his return flight got canceled, and he was flying out of China. So he is, as far as I know, currently, I haven't caught up with him about the flight, but currently scrambling to figure out how he's going to get back. Although I'm sure he'll work it out. It's just a matter of being either stuck for a few days or coming back early for a few days, earlier than he was expecting to. And that's Jeff right there. He's on vacation, having the time of his life. And then, I don't know what to think. Like, I don't watch a lot of television, and I haven't been keeping up even with the CP24 loop. That's our 24-hour news television station around here. There's Kristin and her daughter having fun together. Yeah, there's no. I haven't seen any panic. Now I work in Toronto or the Toronto area, and I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know if I've even seen a mask, to be honest with you. So I guess we're still in the beginnings there. Yeah, shares in toilet rolls went up 22%. Yeah, no doubt. Now, I wonder what happens with that because, as shortages come, some smaller companies can, by all means, do what they want with prices, but sometimes the government might have to step in and do something about that. Now, I don't know that for sure. This is what I saw from the movie Deep Impact, but they were saying they were going to do a freeze on prices and wages. Lisa Capella, thanks for coming by. Us Never Them. So it's funny that you mentioned about the notification because I was getting so frustrated, really almost angry about the fact that I have, bells on for people and I am not getting the notifications that they're live. But I figured out what my personal issue was. So I have the apps. I have the YouTube app and the YT Studio app, which both give notifications. But I also had email notifications. Now, I've turned all my email notifications off because I just don't need them because I have the apps and I let those things ring. But what happened is there's a setting that you can ask for a daily digest. And what that does is it allows you to get all your notifications once a day. And I did that. I used to get them at 7 p.m. And as soon as I turned that off, I started getting the notifications properly. So they all work perfectly for me now. So you might want to just go into your notification settings if you're having that trouble with all people, and then make sure that your daily digest is not set. And you'll find that the notifications start coming. You get notified the second people go live. So Mega Man says that he sees panic shopping at Costco. So, I don't know, maybe that's the beginning of something, but we'll see. So Lisa Capella, I just want to let you know, this particular live broadcast right now is not a growth stream. So there's a lot of people in here who don't know about the crossing of channels and connecting with each other and sharing love and all that stuff. So please be patient with everybody. All of these people so far know me from one way or the other, whether it's from other live streams, other YouTube channels, or from my own thing or the growth streams. So by all means, for those of you who know what I'm talking about when I say connect and share love and all that stuff, you guys can go ahead and do that. We all know the rules. But just, again, please be patient because not everybody's into that. Oh, I did hear that sanitizer and wipes and stuff like that were sold out all over the place. So that's something to think about. Now, I'm very lucky because at home, Kristin does the bulk of the shopping. She does 99% of the shopping, right? And she is one of these people who will look for a good deal and then take advantage of it when it comes. So we usually have plenty. We're certainly not hoarders, but we have plenty. Our cupboards are full. We have enough of everything to last us a little bit of time. So I wouldn't be surprised that we've got food in the house for a good 30 days if we needed it. We could probably even stretch that further if it was an emergency. So I'm not too concerned.
And then we also have food in boxes that are non-perishable, just in case if there is a disaster.
We did plan a little bit of that.
And then we have the burner stove.
Yes.
We did that.
It's a camping stove that she's talking about that works on, it's not propane, I forget what the fuel is. Butane maybe. And we did stock up on a little bit of stuff, but that was before the coronavirus issues came out. This is just having to do with winter, because sometimes in Niagara Falls you can get hit pretty hard. There was a time in Toronto several years ago that my parents were without power for, I don't know if it was only a few days, but it was 3-4 days, something like that.
It was longer than that. You're talking about the winter storm.
There was a winter storm, yeah. I forget how long it was. And just because of that, we've decided to have a little bit of stuff around the house. But that's just a matter of hey, what if we got snowed in? We're both very lucky that if there's any kind of danger or lockdowns or anything like that, then we're able to work at home, both of us, at least for that brief amount of time. 3 days at home isn't going to destroy any of the places that we have to deal with. But that's just fortunate for us. So if we had to, we could just stay in the house. We've got enough to cook, and we don't need power, at least for a few days. I also happen to have a generator, which they can be expensive, but if it's something that's available and you're worried about that kind of thing, it's a good thing to have. You got to have some fuel around as well. My understanding is it can run about, I have a 2,000 watt generator that can run 14 hours on 5 liters of fuel. You have to forgive me, I don't have a clue how to convert that to gallons, but it costs about $5 Canadian. Our fuel's around $1 right now, $1.10 maybe, which makes it about 70, 80 cents US. So for about our $5 would be like your $4, maybe $3.50, and it should be able to run moderate things like for your phone chargers and stuff don't take any power, but it should be able to run that. It says for about 14 hours, so that's interesting. But forgive me because I've gotten behind in the chat again. Yeah, you see, hand sanitizer. I forgot that I did hear that and the. There you go, Tony. You see, he's got the answer right there. Yeah, it's Andy. You're absolutely right. So I'm very lucky because Kristin happens to be as positive a person as I am, and it's not a matter of spreading positivity as much as that might sound like a glorious achievement or anything like that. It's just keeping the conversation positive. So when we're talking about things like this, like the coronavirus and stuff like that, I'm just saying that I'm not at a level of panic yet. I don't believe that it's necessary for me where I am. So I'm very lucky. Excuse me. I understand that it's different for different people all over the place. There's my cousin Nightbot.
Like with Tori.
Life with Tori, thanks for coming in. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, maybe Lucy was already live and sent people here. I'm not sure, or that might have been what happened. So thank you for coming by, either way. And then, yeah, see, there you go. So if it certainly can be, anybody could be well advised to stock up on stuff. The only thing I don't want to advise anybody to do, you've got to have some kind of a balance, I think, because it's very possible, why not just go get 100 cases of toilet paper just in case you have to be inside for a year? I think that's overkill. And the problem is these shortages, there's not enough to go around. These companies weren't expecting this. I'm sure they're working at maximum capacity to get the stuff back out. So I just don't think hoarding is the answer. I think by all means you have to do what you need for yourself and your family over and above everything. And then you help as you can with everybody around you, about those in need and things like this. So, again, I don't want to make light of the situation. I don't want to treat it less serious than it needs to be, but I do just want to say, when it comes to these things, I hate the idea that people are panicking. And we all know that the media, the easiest way for me to say it is if you watch 2 news stories, how much of it is the same? It's different everywhere, and I can't get a straight answer from anybody. So you have to read between the lines and make the best decision for yourself and your family, really. So I am Justine. Thanks for coming by. She's been supporting lately, even though she's a fairly new connection for me. And there you go. Tony, that's a good thing. So balance is key, absolutely, because we do live in a society. It's nice for everybody to help and look after each other and this and that. You do have to look after yourself, but too much of anything is never a good thing. I think I used to tell Jeremy, my son, when he was growing up, I used to say, if you want to test that theory, eat an entire huge bowl of broccoli. Broccoli is supposed to be the best thing for you, right? Eat an entire bowl of broccoli and tell me how you feel the next day. You'll find out pretty quick that too much of anything is a bad idea. You get a worse stomach ache from that one than you will eating chocolate bars all day. But it's nice to see so many people coming through from so many different areas, especially, and so many different places and parts of the world. It's nice that we can get a little bit of a perspective. Mega Man now is actually down here with, he is at Niagara on the Lake, not far from us. That's Derek. He's a friend that I met through Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, he happens to be down here in the Niagara area as well. But there's people from all over here. I mean, particularly from the States, but we've got people like obviously from England, from Liverpool, which I got an old English friend that is like obsessed with Liverpool when it comes to soccer and this and that. I don't know anything about it, but I know that it seems to me that Liverpool fans are among the most extreme. So
The most passionate.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's all right. And then Kira will be arriving at some point.
Oh, yeah, she should be here in about half an hour or so.
So
Busting through the door.
there you go. So just the two of us for now. Kristin's daughter just happens to go to school where she takes a bus. She lives in the net. She worked. She goes to school. She doesn't live or work. She lives here. She works whenever we tell her to, which she's too young for that. But she goes to school in the next town over, so she's got to take a bit of a bus ride every day. But it's okay. She'll be home not too long from now. And this is what life is like around here.
Yeah.
So maybe what we'll do is think about wrapping this up as the conversation's starting to slow down. So I want to thank everybody for coming by. If you haven't already, connect with Kristin. Her channel is on the move right now. She is about to start hustling the way I have been lately. As you can see today, I've gotten over 900 subscribers, and I'll have 1,000 within the next week or so. So by all means, if anybody wants to connect with each other, those of you who know what I'm talking about, go ahead. You all know the rules. We've all met through different growth streams or things like that. Here we go. Governor of Florida told stores, well, warn them of price gouging. Yeah, well, that makes sense. And that's what we were talking about, the one thing that they said from that movie. So hopefully we're not going to see any of that. You know, I would like to think that even the companies, especially the bigger ones, are understanding they're actually going to profit from all of this, if you want to put it that way, by selling higher volume than they usually would.
Yeah.
So
But hopefully not price gouging for profiteering and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Hopefully the big companies won't do it. You know, you almost expect there's people who do like that kind of thing all the time on Kijiji and this and that. You know, like whatever the Christmas toy of the year is going to be, guys will go and buy like, you know, thousands of dollars worth of it just so that they can gouge parents and stuff like that. That I don't agree with, and especially at a time like this. But hopefully we see little to none of that. So us never them. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, that's we don't want anybody getting in trouble while they're working. So yeah, I appreciate the support of everybody coming by and joining us. Like I said, it was just a light discussion. We're testing out our streaming system here and this and that. As I get ready to kick up into high gear, I'm building a growth stream channel, which will be ready to go in a month. And Kristin is working on her channel. I'm hustling and working on the other channels that I manage professionally as well. So YouTube is a big thing for all of us right now, and I really appreciate all of you coming by. I appreciate those of you who are subscribed, and especially you know, hit the bell. You don't miss the next time that I end up going live. I expect to try to be live every Monday and Friday. I've been okay for the last couple of weeks, so I've been on schedule. So I'll do another live on Friday. We will do a growth stream. So if you're looking for more subscribers and more people to get connected to, then Friday is the day. So I try to do it from about 2 in the afternoon to 4, as we are right here. I know I'm cutting it off a little early today, but Friday is going to be hardcore growth stream day, and we're going to see if we can bring value to a bunch of people and start getting those channels up as I gear up to get my new growth network going and moving fast. So again, thank you very much, everybody, for coming by. Thank you for joining us, and for all the thumbs up, for all the watch time, for all the views, and all the things that you've done for us while we've been sitting here just enjoying some time talking. And hopefully you can come by. I'll try to drop a video on Wednesday night. That'll be a pre-recorded video. I don't know what I'm going to release yet. And like I said, tomorrow night I am doing another talk show. It'll be more of a tech talk about small business, marketing, and YouTube in particular with Official D Spot. And I will announce that if you want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Kristin is available on all those places as well. You can get to her easiest through her YouTube channel here. And we will look forward to seeing you all on the next stream. So thank you very much again, everybody.